Hi, welcome back, you beautiful souls. This is OniZerg, also known as James. Um, this is one of the What If I Was in series. This will be What If I Was in Dragon Ball Z. So beforehand, I wanted to say this. I'm taking inspiration from a fanfic where a reader became Yamcha. That's where this idea comes from, and how I'll actually be doing this series. In Discord, I actually put forth a poll between Frieza, Cooler, and Cold. Or no, Frost, Frieza, and Cold. Or basically, like, Cooler ended up winning. So I will get into the story and with a little bit of backstory of where this idea comes from. So I'm sitting at my desk writing a script for a new series that I think my viewers will absolutely love. Not something that's related to Dragon Ball, obviously. It's more of my what if the title of the series that I'm actually scripting out is what if Naruto was the Avatar, or what if not Avatar, but basically what if Naruto had the quirk Whirlwind? Yeah, we'll go with that. What if Naruto had the quirk Whirlwind? And I'm sitting here writing, and I fall asleep at my desk writing this script. When I wake up, I'm just like, oh. And then I notice my hands. Wait, I think these aren't my hands. What's going on? What the hell? Where am I? Lord Cooler, are you okay? Wait, the person called me Cooler? Oh my god, I got Yamcha'd. How's this even possible? And I'm fucking Cooler? Holy crap! Lord Cooler. Obviously, I was thinking all this stuff. Oh, yes. Okay. By the way, what star date is this? It's age 731, my lord? Yeah, and I begin to think, and I was like, wait, age 731? That's years before Goku lands on Earth. Hmm. 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 Set a course to Yardrat. Uh, why, my lord? Like, I immediately rush the guy and slam his face into the ground of the ship, not destroying it. And then I say, "Do I need to repeat myself?" No, my lord. No. So they set a course to Yardrat, and obviously, with how the Yardratians are, they do evacuate most of their population like they normally do when high power levels approach their planet, or at least evil people approach their planet. So, as we're getting close, I immediately erupt into power, transforming into the augmented form, basically evaporate, like destroying everyone on the ship and the ship itself, pretty much incinerating it. So, knowing the physiology of the frost demons, because there's no like actual official name for them, but it's just commonly accepted to call this species frost demons. Uh, um, I know that they can survive in space. So I pretty much just destroy like everyone that came with me because yeah, free cooler force, evil, not really pure at heart, not really the best of people. So I descend to the planet, and a few Yardradians surround me. I tell them, I mean you no harm. I'm here to see Master Pybara. As I'm like kneeling down, like on like a knee. And a few of the Yardradians get a little worried about this. It's like, who are you and how do you know about Master Pybara? I just look at the alien, just internally screaming, just like, oh my god, I'm in Dragon Ball. Oh. But on the ride over, I had like thought of a plan, something that, wait, if I'm in Dragon Ball, how can I change this? So I explained that that's something that only I can discuss with Master Pybara. I truly I truly mean your planet no harm. In fact, I'm here to protect it. So this kind of puts them at ease, and an older Yardradian comes up and he says, what is the reasoning for you to come to our planet? And you said you wanted to protect our planet? And I tell them, it's like, look, I don't have time for this. I know that you Yardradians are mastered in spirit control. I'm here to see Master Pybara. And if I cannot see him, then I will leave. And in many years' time, your planet will be destroyed by Frieza in my damn father cold. This just absolutely sends chills down their spines because they know who those people are. From what I've been able to gather about Yardradians, they have had to migrate like planets before because of the whole Chill family. So they are concerned about this. And I tell them, it's like, look, as I start regressing and I regress into the final form that Frieza has, then I regress again. Then I regress again to the third form. Then I regress again to the second form. And then basically regress into the lowest regression form. So they are amazed at this. And it's like, look, I know that this body is strong, but seriously, I need to speak with Master Pybara. This is important, damn it! I even weakened myself. Can't you see that I mean you no harm? At this, fat, round Yardradian comes out, and he's like, I sense no ill intent in the one's words. Everyone, be at ease. This one doesn't mean us any harm. And I finally look up because this whole time I'm looking down and I'm not even actually looking at the Yardradians. And I go, Master Pybara, there's a lot I need to discuss with you. So over the next few years, I discuss with Pybara what my plans are. I want to make Yardrat not only a hub of spiritual control or people that have amazing techniques, but also a technologically advanced planet. Something that can fight off any threat that ever comes their way. And basically pledge my allegiance to him, saying that if you train me, Master, I will protect this planet with my life. So a year and a half passes, and I've gotten a good control on one technique. And over the years, I will continue developing more tech speaks, but the one I asked him to train me in first is instant transmission. Yes, I know some of you are probably like, oh my god, where is this going to go? Just watch. This episode is more of a prequel. It's not really scripted to be it's a whole thing. This is me more setting up the entire series of what if I become cooler, the backstory. You know, the stuff that happens in the back of things. So I begin, like I discussed with him, like my plans of recruiting people that I know are pure of heart to come to this world. And then I tell him, and he's like, that's not necessarily true, is it? Cooler. And I grimace at that. I was like, ugh, I hate that name. So, right now in the comments below, if you want me to keep the name Cooler, type yes. If not, make a suggestion of a new name to go by. Now, obviously, people like Frieza, potentially Vegeta, but definitely Frieza and Cold will call me Cooler. And a few of the older, like the Ginyu Force and a few Frieza Force soldiers may call me Cooler because they would know the existence of him. Or not. I know definitely Frieza and King Cold would still call me Cooler regardless. So I explained to him, I was like, yes, you're right. In the future, there is one that I will bring that isn't necessarily pure of heart, but will need him. Well, there's a few that we'll need. So he agrees to it, and after about a year and a half, I've mastered the technique well enough to where I can go to a different planet and travel at my will. And so over the next year and a half, like I'm discussing with him, and it's like, do you know of a race called Namekians? And Paibara is like inquisitively asked me. It's like, yes. Well, my plans involve them. I know, like, grabbing my head is like, I know events that are going to happen in the future. Some of them, looking down, with a solemn gaze, I have to let certain events pass, but some, until a certain point in time, a few decades into the future, I'll be able to do what I need to do. But for certain people to change, certain events have to happen. Just thinking about it. Master Paibara, do you know the Namekian language? And Paibara says no. And then I go, well then, can you teach me to reduce my power down to about 200 while I'm in my final form? And you say, you mean that spiky one? And it's like, no, the slender form. Right now, I'm actually in the regressed, like, base form. So, he's like, that is possible. And they have, like, taught me how to sense ki and everything, because obviously, instant transmission, you have to be able to sense ki or know where you're actually going. And, like, you actually need to know where you're going, or you need to be able to sense a ki signature. So, I have learned to sense it, and my power has, oh boy. It was initially stronger, but then through some training, Cooler was able to get up to the 140 million. So when I arrived, I'm just going to say that my power level, because it's arbitrary and honestly doesn't need to be stated, is, I would say, 100 million. Which is why Cold called me a failure and stuff like that. Well, called Cooler a failure, because I'm me. And I'm just thinking, over these years, I've gained good respect for the planet. And I have destroyed a few ships that have arrived that not necessarily from Cold or Frieza, because mind you, this is still age 731, which is about 5 years before the destruction of planet Vegeta. And when Frieza is officially... So Cold is thinking that I just ran off and abandoned the whole Chill family and everything. So he chose Frieza to succeed, though it possibly wasn't his first choice, or it was. We don't really know, and that's neither here nor there. So, over the next year and a half, I train, gaining more and more and more power, and then one day I say, it's time. Master Barbarta, may I leave for a day? There's someone I need to go see. So I start sensing. Then I finally find it. Planet Earth. Okay. Now, the particular individual. Alright, I got there. And I pretty much reduce my power to what Kami's power level is. And I appear right in front of him. Immediately, Kami is freaking out because someone literally just appeared in front of him. He basically spills his tea a little bit, and Popo's like, Kami, who is this? And I immediately get down on a knee and bow my head. I'm like, Kami-sama, I come from a different planet. I'm here to learn some things from you. I only have a day before I have to get back to my world because of other means. And Kami has been shown to be able to sense, like Guru, the intent and the falsity of someone's words. And he's like, calm down, Mr. Popo. This one seems to not be a threat to us. And then he says, raise your head, stranger. Kami, I am here to learn your language. And he's like, but you already know my language. And I'm like, no. Your original language, the one that you spoke before you came to this planet. And before you split from spitting on the ground Demon King Piccolo. Which shocks Kami. He's like, well, it's going to take more than a day for you to learn that. And then I raise my head. What about the hyperbolic time chamber? Kami's even more surprised at this and has gained a little suspicions. And I tell him, it's like, look, I've had visions of the future. I know certain things that are going to happen. For me to prevent them, I need to know the language of the nameless Namekian. With that, Kami just goes wide-eyed, and it's like, yes, I know what you originally were. And Kami is like, very well then. Mr. Popo, keep an eye on things for the day. So we go into the time chamber, and over this year, I do train, and I put into quotes, train with Kami, So Kami will be getting a little bit of a power boost from his stated 200-ish about that time. I'm going to use that and not the movies. I'm going to use the power level about 200, which was stated to be weaker. So Kami will get a little bit of power boost, not much, because I slowly just increase my power to kind of match Kami. And over this year, he eventually does teach me the language. As we exit, Popo's like, Kami, you're... And he's like, yes, Mr. Popo, thanks to our friend here. You are a friend, right? And I kind of chuckle a little bit. Yes, Master Kami-sama. And what we discussed, I will, if this planet is ever in danger of truly being destroyed, I shall give my assistance. But one thing, you may want to augment that chamber. Also, in a few years, a power will erupt on this planet. Do not sit up here. Go down and help them. Stop being set up here out and being non-intrusive. You'll know what this power is, and when it does, help prevent it from killing a human. The boy will need his grandfather. And with that, I put two hands to my forehead and teleport back to Yardrad. Now, it is paining me because I spend most of my days meditating, gaining more and more control over spirit control. I eventually, over the years, will master all the techniques that the Yardradians have to offer. One day I'm meditating and I begin to cry out. And this is about 2 years after my return. And a Yardradian asked me, it's like, what's wrong, my friend? And I say, our planet's been destroyed. A species that had great potential, but it must happen for balance of the worlds and everything. A planet is about to be destroyed. Master Paibara, I need to go and collect a few people. These two individuals will... One of them's pure of heart, I know that. The other, he may attack on sight, so please evacuate the civilians on my return. Kind of knock her in the back of the head. And then I put my fingers, and it's like, good, he's not dead yet. Appear behind Bardock and grab him. And then I teleport back to Yardred. And after a few moments, Gine awakens, and I tell her, it's like, I'm sorry. I mean you no harm. I truly do. I don't mean you any harm. Then Bardock awakens and he sees me next to Gine and he just attacks because I'm in my regressed form and I look somewhat like Frieza. And he goes, Frieza! And I just take the hit and I just stare at him. I'm not Frieza. I am cooler. Bardock is shocked. He's not he's off put by this. I saved you, my brother. Damn fool. He would have killed you. I'm sorry. I couldn't save your planet. There's a lot we need to talk about. Now sit down and listen, Bardock. You no longer need to fight in a war, at least not yet. We have a bigger threat. How did you... Like I said, be quiet and sit down. So I go into the story and explain that I'm sorry I let your planet die. Then go get my sons. And I tell him it's like, I can't do that. Not yet. There's stuff that he has to learn. You saw visions of him becoming the Super Saiyan. Well, let me tell you this. The Super Saiyan isn't just one person. Many can become the Super Saiyan. Now, I have plans to let things progress the way they are, but I promise you, I will bring your sons here one day, and they will be powerful. And I will need your help to train them. If you agree to these terms, you can live here and gain strength beyond your imagination. And you'll be able to just kill Frieza if you actually wanted to. But I think maybe you would want to wait for a bigger fish, so to speak. They're really at it, and Bardock doesn't want anything to do with it. But then over the next year or so, over the next like 2 years, Bardock has like come and like tried to fight me. Each time I just like one shot him, and then I bring him back to the hut that him and Gine have had, because I made it very clear, if you harm the Yardratians, I will kill you and wipe you off the face of this planet. I have no time for this, so Bardock just, since he can't attack the Yardratians, and he clearly knows, like every single time, he keeps coming back stronger and stronger, till eventually me and him are just sparring. So after about 2 years, he finally gave up and said, fine, I'll agree to your terms. So with that, I basically introduce him to Master Paibara. And he's shocked. I introduced both of them. And Gine, she takes to the training, I would say, more so than Bardock. He still has those Saiyan urges of battle and everything, because almost all Saiyans do, but Gine is like, it's been shown to be somewhat of those exceptions. She's pretty much a pure-hearted Saiyan, because I'm kind of combining the events of Minus and the special the Bardock movie where he does have these visions, and over the years he slowly begins to understand that there are things in the universe that need to happen. And I did tell him that your son, if he doesn't grow up on Earth, that planet is doomed, and eventually he'll be here, and I'll bring your son here one day, your other son here one day, after something happens with him. So over these 2 years, over the next year after that, Bardock has really relaxed, and he's learned to sense ki. And one day when I'm actually training, he sees me duplicate myself. And I'm going toe to toe with myself, basically going all out in like the sky. Not like all out where I'm endangering the planet, but really getting into a good workout. And he can sense he can sense the immense power that's behind the body that I'm in. And he's like, oh, oh, oh. He's like actually shocked when he actually sees me in the augmented form, and he's like, he could have killed me any moment. Even as strong as a gun, it's nothing to him. And then I notice him, and I'm like, Bardock, so you finally understand. Are you willing to actually learn the techniques of these people and protect them? And he's like, yes, Master Cooler. Don't call me that. I'm not your master. If anything, I'm your friend. Just like what that bandana symbolizes. There's people that you care about, and you care about your family. I know that. That's why I saved you. What are you doing, Cooler, sir? And, well, I'm training because, quite frankly, laughable at best. Well, not anymore. And when you return, actually, you know what? I think it's time I teach you how to go Super Saiyan. Bardock is like, what? You know how to attain the legendary form of Super Saiyan? And I'm like, yes, I do. Like you, I have a gift that allows me to know certain events of the future. And so with that, we spend the next couple of months, next like year or so. So mind you, this is about 4 years of Bardock being on planet Yardrat with Yine. Yeah, some things may have happened, some things may have. That's for the end of the video. So I tell him, like, Bardock eventually is able to go into the form. I then tell him, it's like, Bardock, you no longer have to fight, but I have plans of developing this planet's technology. After we return with at least one of these Saiyans, the other one, he may not make it. He may be too far gone in his paranoia and revenge to be saved. But his son, you may have heard of him, Broly. Bardock just looks at me and he's like, I heard about the child being exiled. Well then, you have my word, this no harm will come to them. So I place 2 fingers to my forehead and concentrate, find planet Vampa, and just teleport to it, away from where Paragus and Broly are. One moment. Alright, sorry about that. Just saw something out the window. So I go there and I spend a couple of days suppressing my power level, and I have brought some food with me. And I kind of watched them. I see the collar on Broly's neck, and I go. So then I make my presence known. And Paragus is absolutely fucking terrified. And I say, "You there, where's your son?" Broly! As a teenager comes out. Because let's see, 5 years that would put Kakarot and Broly. Yeah, like a teen comes walking out of the cave that I saw Paragus in front of. And then I say, "I'm not here to attack you. And by the way, this," I appear right in front of Broly in an instant and just snatch the collar right off his neck. "This is not needed. I have an offer for you. You can come with me and get off of this planet. Or you can stay here and rot. But one way or another, your son's coming with me. Now, if you want to come with me, you'll have to give up your revenge on Vegeta. He has died, and well, his son may still be alive, but I don't think you want to go down that route." Paragus gulps and he's like, "Yes, I'll come with you." So I tell him to place his hand on my shoulder, and I put my hand on the young Broly's shoulder, like head. Broly's just looking up at me, and I teleport back to Yardrat. Yes, I know many of you are gonna be like, "Holy shit!" No, so I'm pretty much going to let the events of what happens on Earth happen. Yes, the Saiyan saga and all that, and I will go in the next episode about my interactions with Kami, how it did affect the story, because it doesn't drastically change, but there are a few things that will change with it. So when we get back to there, Paragus is like, "What the hell?" And I tell him, he's like, "Look, your son, he doesn't like to fight. And he was forced to do that on planet Vampa to survive. Your acts of revenge. Hey, Bardock, come over here." And Paragus is like, "What? Bardock? You said the Saiyans died." And I said, "Yeah, most of them did. The planet's gone. Vegeta's definitely dead. Hey, Bardock, show this fool what we had been working on." Bardock closes his eyes and grins and then powers up into Super Saiyan. And Paragus is like, "Super Saiyan." And I tell him, "Yes. And if you can live your life out on this planet, but fair warning, if you harm any of its inhabitants, you will have me to answer to." As I just look over at Bardock, kind of grinning a little bit, and I tell Bardock, "Go to your max power. I want to show this fool why he shouldn't test me." Bardock cringes a little bit, but then powers up. And I immediately go over and just kind of hit him in the back of the neck, knocking him out, and he goes to base. Gine comes running out, and it's like, "Cooler, what are you doing? You and then she spots the other Saiyan. She's like, wait, you're Paragus. With that, a little child comes running out and it's like, Mommy, who was Daddy fighting? He powered up, but then like his power disappeared, and then he sees me. Then it sees me, and it's like, oh, Uncle Cooler. And Paragus is just shocked at this, and he's like, wait, a Saiyan calling a what? So with that, that's where I'm actually going to end this part. This was a setup of what if I became cooler. Now, this episode was more of a backstory of me saying a few things that I would be doing. And in the next part, like part one, I will actually go into certain events that had changed with Earth and what went on there. Also, more in depth of events of Broly and this new little Saiyan child. Now, I did say I misspoken there. I actually want you viewers to decide their sex. So comment down below if you agree, if you want me to keep the name Cooler, or a name suggestion down below. Also, comment if you want, comment sister or brother if you want the child to be Goku and Raditz's little sister or little brother. Mind you, this child takes a lot more after Gine. They're not a fighter and they have no inclination to actually fight, but with the training that the Ardredians, it's more of so that she can protect herself from the common riffraff of the universe, or he or she can protect themselves from the common riffraff of the universe. So in this, I wanted to, I did ask if I should save Bardock and Genie, because I didn't want this to be this isn't going, yes, I know a lot of other YouTubers have done what if Bardock and Gine survived, or what if Broly was sent to Earth and stuff like that. I do watch them, and I do have some inspiration. But I'm going to do my own thing with this. This is going to be something that I believe you viewers will actually enjoy. With that, so again, comment down below if I should keep the name Cooler or if I should take on a new name. Also, comment down below if sister or brother. Also, if you want to make a name suggestion, you can do that because the name hasn't been completely determined. I do have a few that I would choose from that I came up with myself, but if the comment section gets a name for the Saiyan child, and it has a lot of likes, I will use that. So with that being said, this has been OniZerg, and like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I will see you beautiful souls in the next video.